CTV News.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. Tonight, investigators are working to answer the question of why. New details are emerging about the suspect accused of killing a Montreal police officer, including a manifesto discovered after the attack. CTV's Geneviève Boschman has the latest.
The large police perimeter protecting the crime scene is now gone. Broken glass, bullet holes, all examined by investigators. They confirmed that a violent manifesto was left behind in the shooter's hotel room. And the coroner's office has identified the suspect as 25-year-old Seth Scott Hatfield of Lethbridge, Alberta. There, police conducted an early morning high-risk operation, searching in a residential area near the Lethbridge University where the suspect was a student. Officers are working to piece together why he traveled to Montreal, booked a hotel room, and carried out the shooting. The more than 100-page document he left behind reads like a rambling thesis on incel ideology, anti-women, anti-capitalist, anti-establishment. An ideology with echoes to the 2018 van attack that killed 11 people, injured 15 in Toronto, and the Polytechnic massacre in Montreal in 1989. The shooter then left a note blaming feminists for ruining his life.
The manosphere being this not centralized movement that has different branches within it that is very active on the web. So the incel movement is one of them.
In the manifesto, the shooter also blames the pornography industry for increased isolation of young men, for weakening their will to fight the system. Alo, Pornhub's parent company, is right across the street from the hotel. But investigators have not confirmed that this may have played a part in the suspect's decision to strike here. Montreal's Mayor Soraya Martinez-Ferrada said she did not want to make comments on the manifesto, but said misogyny and hate overwhelm social media.
When you see recruitment of young people through social media, it is very concerning.
And she says more has to be done to ensure that hate doesn't spill onto the streets of her city. The perimeter around the crime scene has now been lifted, but the investigation into just what happened here is far from over. Geneviève Boschman, CTV News, Montreal.
3 police officers killed in the line of duty in just 2 weeks. And here in Windsor, those tragedies are sparking conversations about officer safety, the risks of the job, and the supports available for officers and their families. CTV's Sanjay Maru reports.
The killing of 3 officers in Canada within 2 weeks has shaken police in Windsor and the families who wait for them to come home. The head of the Windsor Police Union says members' families are asking what more can be done to protect them.
No officer ever comes to work and wants to have to use their service-issued firearm to have to end a situation. We train for it, but it's always been a last resort. It's nothing that anybody ever wants to have to do and face. And you see how having to make that ultimate decision really affects members.
For Windsor Police, the recent deaths bring back memories of Constable John Atkinson, killed in the line of duty in May of 2006. Kent Rice knew Atkinson personally and says more action must be taken on officer safety, staffing, bail, and repeat offenders.
We failed ourselves if we can't make our community safer. We've established laws, but the laws actually have to have meaning, and they have to have some kind of impact where they'll stop these critical incidents from occurring.
Where has policing gone and why? Why does there appear, at least, to be less belief in the police and support of the police and the public?
Police sources say the suspect in Monday's Montreal shooting left behind a manifesto linked to the online incel movement, with warnings it could inspire copycat violence against law enforcement. CTV public safety analyst Chris Lewis says investigators still have to determine a motive, but the violence is raising broader questions.
Assaults against police are up. You look like at a week like this or a couple of months back in 2022 when there's a real spike in police shootings.
As for the Windsor Police Association, Kent Rice says the union wants stronger supports, including increased staffing and more officers paired up in high-risk situations.
It's where we can do better as police services, as we can do better as a community, as we can do better as society to support those people who do put their lives on the line every day to make the rest of the community safe.
Sanjay Maru, CTV News.
A false 911 call this afternoon sparking a major police response in Leamington. OPP say a caller reported a violent family dispute on Talbot Road East. Officers rushed to the scene but quickly determined there was no emergency. Police call it swatting and say the hoax tied up resources that could have been needed elsewhere. In Sarnia, police are searching for 2 people after shots were fired during an attempted carjacking. Police releasing this security video from a Maria Street home. It shows 2 suspects approaching a vehicle shortly after midnight and demanding the keys from the driver. The person behind the wheel reverses and then shots are fired from a pellet gun. Police are looking for 2 white males with slim builds wearing dark, baggy clothes. One had an orange bandana. In Detroit, police say they detained 180 youth during fireworks night as a strict curfew was put in place for unaccompanied minors. The curfew was announced well in advance of the event in an effort to limit some of the violence and mischief the Motor City's seen during the show in past years. Of the juveniles detained last night, Detroit police say 171 were residents of the city, with 9 coming from out of town. 108 of them, they say, were boys, 72 girls, and officers say they made 19 other arrests during the event, 12 for carrying a concealed weapon, and 2 of those were juveniles, and the other 7 for miscellaneous offenses like resisting, assault, and disorderly conduct. And earlier in the day yesterday, Windsor police dog helping nab a suspect after a break-in at a construction site. Police say 2 people were stealing materials from a building under construction on Wyandotte West Monday morning. K9 officer Timber tracked down 1 suspect hiding inside. He was arrested after a brief struggle. The second suspect remains on the loose. The price tag is turning heads. City staff say it could take close to $60 million to convert the old barn into a supportive housing village. Tonight, support for the idea, but plenty of questions about the cost. CTV's Chris Campbell reports.
The former Windsor Arena has sat largely vacant for years. Now city staff are proposing turning the historic building into a village-style housing community with 102 private living pods and support services for people experiencing homelessness. Mayor Drew Dilkin says the goal is permanent housing, not a shelter.
We're creating 102 permanent housing spaces for people to get them off of the street, that they'll have their own pod. They'll be able to, live their life in this pod as we get them support to get them back on a track to regular housing, not transitional housing.
The proposal carries an estimated price tag approaching $60 million, but Dilkin says preserving the arena's heritage features is contributing to the cost.
We're trying to preserve the heritage here, which we think is important, but if council wants to make a different choice, we could probably get the number lower.
The mayor says Windsor would also need help from upper levels of government to make the project a reality. Ward 1 councillor Fred Francis says the city should consider starting fresh, as he predicts the budget could balloon.
It's not going to be $60 million, and the report says that the price will change. If we're putting numbers out there, I'll put $150 million out there, because we couldn't build an ice rink on budget. We couldn't build a trolley project on budget. Both those projects came in millions of dollars over budget.
Residents near the old arena are divided on what should happen next.
It's been part of Windsor for a long time, so it'd be kind of a waste of investment. It's still part of Windsor, so I think they could do a lot more than kind of outfit it with an inside village or a homeless hub.
I think if you really want sustainability and you're looking at costs, it might just be better to tear it down.
That's a lot more than it should be. It should be a lot less to help the people at least.
While some question the cost, others say action is needed to address homelessness.
You got to do something. Got to do something, because it's ridiculous. There's even families with kids out in the streets now.
Council is expected to continue discussing the proposal as it weighs the cost of preserving a piece of Windsor's history against the need for more housing options on June 29th. Chris Campbell, CTV News.
From southwestern Ontario to the global stage, 4 dancers from our region are preparing to show their moves at a World Cup in Ireland.
It's really exciting because when we get to Ireland, we're going to be able to see so many different countries and different dancers from all over the world.
Dancers from Belle River, Tecumseh, and Chatham-Kent are representing Team Canada. They leave for Dublin in about 2 weeks to compete in the 2026 Dance World Cup. The competition features 11,000 dancers from more than 50 countries. In recent months, the girls have been fundraising to help cover the costs of flights, hotels, and costumes. Tonight, they received a final send-off from friends and family at a gathering in Tecumseh. Feeling the nerves ahead of the international showing, they say they're confident months of preparation will pay off.
This is like the second biggest stage, I think, other than like the Olympics. Yeah, so very nerve-wracking but very exciting. It's a great opportunity.
More details tonight on Ontario's education shakeup, including new participation marks that could impact high school students as early as this fall.
I think this is a good idea.
This will encourage people to raise your hand and try.
The introverted people, without help, they're not going to raise their hand.
The more you participate, you understand the material more.
I don't like it at all. It's not good, it's not useful, it's not helpful. This person might be shy to participate, or, you know, like they think that someone's going to make fun of them.
I think the same. I agree. We should raise our hand and get marks for that.
What if you're not confident, like you don't want to talk, you don't want to, like you don't feel good doing it?
I'm a shy person and I don't like talking in front of people much often.
Yes, I do like the idea because all students should have extra marks on everything.
Under the new guidelines, attendance and classroom participation will count towards final grades. For grades 9 to 10, it'll make up 15% of a student's mark. For grades 11 and 12, it'll account for 10%. The province is also moving ahead with a new digital learning platform for classrooms across Ontario, backed by a $60 million investment. Education Minister Paul Calandra discussed the changes today on AM 800's Mornings with Mike and Meg.
If you're a teacher, doesn't matter what grade, K to 12, you need a lesson plan. It can help you develop a lesson plan or give you a lesson plan that has been approved by the Ministry of Education. And it really helps identify for teachers because the classrooms are so different now. A teacher might have 25 kids in a class and 5 of the students might have an independent or individualized education plan. So it's 5 different curriculums that a teacher needs. And this really, really helps.
A new investment is aimed at helping Windsor-Essex companies take their ideas from the drawing board to the marketplace. The funding will connect local firms with specialized testing and technology hubs across Ontario. CTV's Bob Belichico has more.
A lot of benefit will come to Windsor-Essex companies and startups.
A $1.5 million investment from the Ontario Vehicle Innovation Network is expected to help Windsor-Essex solidify its position as an automotive innovation network. Add to that $3.35 million from the private sector and $1.75 million from the broader public sector. That's a total of $6.6 million. That will help companies grow, and the connection to Oven gives them access to other companies across the province.
Ottawa has Area X.0, where they can do live testing, as well as in Sudbury at NORCAT, you can go into a live mine and test your technologies into a unique terrain.
Local companies will have access to all that, the expertise, testing facilities, and specialized technology across the province.
When you think about regional companies in Windsor-Essex, they all have now 8 other nodes they can tap into.
WeTech Alliance will lead the Windsor-Essex site, supporting startups and small businesses working in advanced automotive and mobility technologies. On the partnership side, WeTech has partnered with the Port Authority, Windsor Police Services, and the Windsor-Detroit Tunnel Corporation.
We have industry here, from automotive to agriculture to logistics to healthcare. We've got a legacy industry here that's looking to modernize.
Small and medium-sized companies get to try their technology out with us.
Technology dealing with border wait times and cement integrity has been tested.
What type of new technology that we can use to try and make that audit more efficient and better.
The Tunnel Corporation is currently testing 3 different technologies.
This is a great opportunity for us to raise awareness of what we have going on in the city of Windsor and in the county of Essex.
Eventually, our best friends to the south will become best friends again, and we can springboard. It's a great opportunity to have a business here to get access to the biggest market in the world.
Bob Belichico, CTV News.
A special ceremony was held today at the site of the new Fancy Family Hospital. A sacred fire ceremony was held this morning, recognizing the land's original stewards and the importance of Indigenous cultures in the project. Participants gathered to reflect on building a hospital that is welcoming, inclusive, and respectful of Indigenous communities. Plans for the new hospital include an Indigenous healing space, an outdoor healing garden, and storage for traditional medicines. Officials expect Phase 1 groundbreaking to get underway sometime this summer. Well, from making pita chips to racing across the country, 2 Windsor entrepreneurs are set to compete on the next season of the Amazing Race Canada.
I'm Amin.
And I'm Soraya, and we're a mother and son team
From Windsor, Ontario.
The competitors are the mother-son duo behind Cedar Valley Pita Chips right here in Windsor. They'll be one of 10 teams competing for a $250,000 grand prize and a trip around the world. Filming took place this spring, and season 12 of the Amazing Race Canada premieres July 7th. CTV meteorologist Gary Archibald has your full weather details coming up in 2 minutes' time.
That was kind of the cover story here, Patty. It's not why I'm really here.
And still ahead, as AM 800's Patty Handysize prepared to retire, a special surprise on the airwaves today. The details coming up. CTV meteorologist Gary Archibald is here with our first look at the weather tonight. And Gary, a pleasant day to get started tomorrow.
You're right about that. A continuation of today, mid-20s, between 23 and about 25 degrees Celsius across extreme southwestern Ontario, a mixture of sun and cloud, high UV. That will be repeated tomorrow, so protect your vision. Of course, sunglasses recommended, and of course, your sunblock throughout the day. Exposed skin, we want to make sure we're protecting ourselves and the little ones as well. So, we are seasonal right now, both in terms of the highs and lows, and we are quiet as well. Wind speeds out of the south, less than 20 kilometers per hour sustained. Gusts not likely much higher than that. In fact, I think we are relatively quiet through the morning rush hour and at least through to noon wind-wise, and we'll see plenty of sunshine. High UV of a rating close to about 8 or 9 tomorrow. If we do see rainfall, there is a slight chance for the next system working its way through the state of Minnesota, on its way through Michigan, obviously, Wisconsin before that, then Michigan, and likely to be an issue over Michigan's upper region close to about 4 or 5 p.m. By 6 or 7, the cloudiness has thickened up and we could see some showers. More on that in just a moment. Overnight temperature projected 14. Our average low for this time of the year is 16, so we're seasonably cool, just a couple of degrees below that mark. Here's the breakdown for tomorrow. Again, the sun's intensity is significant. UV rating high. Sunny, beautiful morning through the midday. Afternoon looks good, at least through the 3-4 o'clock hour. Cloudier, and then maybe some showers 7, 8, 9. If we do see it, it is light if we see it at all. Take a look at the next 7 days. Highs and lows anticipated. The predominant conditions, and then the probability stat is the probability in terms of percentages of an occurrence of active weather. So we're relatively low, at least through the daytime. Then could see some showers evening. Thursday, 25, not a bad shot at some showers, maybe even some isolated thunderstorm activity. Friday, mid-20s, fair, cloudy, mid-20s. Saturday doesn't look too bad for rain. And then Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, look at this, 29, 35, 33. Humidex values will make those temperatures be or feel several degrees warmer. That's a look at your weather. Travis?
Thank you, Gary. The London gym, where an SUV crashed into a fitness class earlier this month, is back open. The Good Life Fitness at Sherwood Forest Mall reopened today, nearly 2 weeks after an SUV burst through a brick wall and into a group exercise class. 6 people were injured. The driver, 59-year-old Jennifer Lynn Hopper, is charged with 6 counts of criminal negligence causing bodily harm and has since been released on bail. At City Hall today, London's mayor recognized an off-duty paramedic who happened to be working out at the gym and sprang into action to help the injured. In a rare interview, U.S. Ambassador to Canada sat down with CTV's chief political correspondent, Vashi Kapelos. CTV's Abigail Bimman shares what was said and whether we learned anything new.
We did not take aim at Canada.
The American ambassador maintains the U.S. didn't single out Canada in its tariff strategy. But with the July 1st deadline for a free trade deal review ticking closer.
Obviously, we're not anywhere close to announcing any type of a framework or an interim agreement.
While Canada's U.S. Trade Minister said this earlier this month in D.C.
Are the talks unfrozen? The answer is yes. They've been unfrozen for a number of months.
Pete Hoekstra doubled down on what he called the impact of October and November when Ontario ran this ad featuring Ronald Reagan. Before that, he said the two sides were close to a framework on key issues.
In reality, they've never gotten back on track the same way that we've had progress with the Mexicans on getting to an agreement.
And if there are certain things I'd throw out there that need to be tweaked, say what those areas are so that those are the areas that are narrowed in terms of what needs to be addressed. But everything else in the economy goes smoothly. Everything else gets sort of addressed. But it's not like we're held hostage by one or two things.
Experts stressed July 1st isn't a cliff to fall off if there's no deal. The ambassador said the president could announce his intentions before that date or sometime in July. Abigail Beeman, CTV News, Ottawa.
A lot of red on the markets. The TSX fell 75 points, the Dow lost 46, and the Nasdaq dropped 580. Canadian dollar is down 1/5 of a cent. Gold lost more than $53 an ounce, and oil fell 65 cents a barrel. A local hockey coach is getting a new NHL opportunity. Tecumseh native DJ Smith has been named an assistant coach with the Edmonton Oilers. Smith spent last season with the Los Angeles Kings and will now join Mike Babcock's staff in Edmonton. The pair previously worked together on the Toronto Maple Leafs. The World Cup has been considered a success so far, but there have been some issues with fans being frustrated getting tickets to games. The ticket trouble has been most prevalent on third-party websites where fans have been offered refunds instead of the seats they purchased. Here's CTV's Pat Foran.
It's probably a once-in-a-lifetime chance to see them play right at home.
Ron Studd of Toronto is a huge fan of Germany's soccer team, and so is his son. For a Christmas present, he decided to buy 2 tickets to see Saturday's match with the Ivory Coast in Toronto.
I'm a big Germany fan. I'm German. Obviously, my son's German. I have soccer tattoos.
Studd purchased 2 tickets using StubHub in December and paid $2,000 for them. But about a week before the game, he was told the tickets were not available.
The seller of the tickets would be unable to provide the tickets. They're basically forcing me to take the refund, I guess.
He has seen Germany play in a World Cup before and wanted his son to have the same experience. He doesn't want a refund and says StubHub should be able to get seats to the game as there were some available.
That's what I purchased. That's what I locked in for. That's what the gift was intended to be, tickets for myself and my son.
StubHub told CTV News many of the issues fans are facing trace back to the event organizers' technology infrastructure, newly announced transfer restrictions, and a new app launched just a month ago. Regardless, every order on StubHub is backed by our Fan Protect guarantee, which provides alternative tickets or a full refund.
Stubb was worried he and his son wouldn't be able to see Saturday's match, but when CTV News got in touch with StubHub, they upgraded his seats and put him 10 rows closer to the action.
So in the end, Studd and his son were able to attend Saturday's game with 2 tickets worth about $6,000. Germany won the match with a big finish, and Studd says he and his son have memories to last a lifetime.
Thank you, CTV, for all the help and all the good work. Yeah, fantastic. I appreciate it. My son and I appreciate it.
Pat Foran, CTV News.
For another look at the 7-day forecast, we're joined by CTV meteorologist Gary Archibald. And Gary, some rain in the week ahead.
Yeah, I think we could see a very light shower tomorrow early evening, very late afternoon, early evening around supper time. It just happens to be timing out that way. Supper time for most, say 6:37. And then we will see a little bit more of a chance of showers and or thunderstorm activity for Thursday. The worst case scenario for Thursday afternoon as well is get into some gusty winds with some heavy downpours if the secondary system coming in does play out. Friday looks fair, mid-20s. Cloudy on Saturday, a bit cooler, but still pleasant enough to be outdoors, no doubt. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, upper 20s. Mid-30s, the progression in terms of a temperature trend. It will be humid. It's likely to be wet. And I think we're going to see some thunderstorm activity towards the middle of next week. That's a look at your weather. Wherever you are, have a great night's rest. Enjoy the sunshine, protect yourself, and always enjoy your weather. Travis?
Thank you, Gary. Finally tonight, if you missed the big news last week, Patty Handysides, host of The Shift on AM 800, will hang up her headphones at the end of this week, retiring from broadcast after 45 years in the industry. During today's show, Multicultural Council Executive Director Fred Francis stopped by. Patty thought they were going to talk about the recent success of Carousel of the Nations, but Francis had an ulterior motive.
We're just talking a little bit about Carousel. I know you've been on here talking lots the last few days about it, but what a success. What a resounding success.
Yeah, it was really great. We're happy to have done that. But, that was kind of the cover story here, Patty. It's not why I'm really here. I'm really here to present you with the MCC Community Legend Award. And this is the second Community Legend Award the MCC's ever presented. You know who the first one went to? Lisa Williams. So we're happy. We're here to congratulate you on your retirement. We can't say thank you enough for all your decades of work.
There you go. Patty's officially a legend. Francis says she's been a tremendous voice in the community, helping the MCC promote its work, helping, quote, appreciate diversity, fighting racism, bigotry, and discrimination. As he mentioned, the first ever MCC Community Legend Award was presented to former AM 800 morning show host Lisa Williams, recognizing her years of service to the community. And again, Patty's final show on AM 800 is this Friday from 2 until 6. That's our time for tonight. I hope you'll join us tomorrow. For now, I'm Travis Fortnum. Take care.